The night air was heavy, almost alive, as if it held its breath in anticipation. A single, distant star blinked through the clouds, indifferent to the turmoil below. Marcus Kane sat hunched in the cockpit, his fingers grazing the cold metal console. Every hum of the engines echoed the hollow rhythm of a heart haunted by a mission that never truly ended. The base was silent, save for the occasional crackle of a distant radio. It was 0300 hours, and the desert beyond the airstrip stretched like a canvas of shadows. Kane's eyes traced the horizon, but the landscape brought no comfort, only memories of lost brothers, whispered promises broken in the sand. He had left something behind once. Something he could never reclaim. In the soft glow of the instrument panel, his face was a map of quiet guilt. The lines of loss and exhaustion traced every scar, every sleepless night after the last mission that went wrong. He adjusted his headset, listening to the static before it resolved into a voice. Eagle 1, we've got movement. Coordinates inbound. Proceed with caution. The words fell like a stone. A mission. A chance to fly again. And perhaps, a chance to confront the ghosts that had never left him. Marcus leaned back for a moment, his eyes closing briefly. Somewhere deep inside, he knew that this operation could either bring redemption, or drag him further into the darkness he had been avoiding for years. A soft ping from the control tower snapped him awake. The storm was coming. And before he could react, the first alert blinked on his console. And hey, if you love real-life heroic stories like this one, don't forget to hit subscribe to State's Heroic Stories. Trust me, you won't want to miss the missions we bring to life. The engines roared to life as the helicopter lifted, each vibration a reminder that Marcus was alive, but only just. Outside, the desert wind clawed at the fuselage, rattling the frame with a chill that seeped into his bones. Clouds rolled in low, darkening the sky as the storm drew nearer. Coordinates locked. ETA 5 minutes, the navigator reported, voice steady but tinged with tension. Kane gripped the controls. The mission was simple in theory: insert the team, extract intel, get out. Yet simplicity had never been his ally. The further they flew, the more the cockpit seemed to shrink. Instruments glowed ominously. Lights flickered with each gust of wind. Memories crept in, uninvited. The last op, the one he couldn't forget, the ambush in the mountains, the firefight that left 2 of his brothers dead. He had promised them he'd watch their 6. He had failed. Engine temp rising. The warning light blared. Kane's hands were steady, but his pulse raced. He felt the aircraft as if it were part of him, a living, breathing entity demanding his total attention. One wrong move and the mission, his team, and his chance at redemption could all end here. The radio crackled again. Marcus, you copy? Static. Then silence. A signal lost. Panic threatened at the edges, but Kane forced it back. He had to focus. He had survived worse. But this was different. A sudden jolt shook the helicopter. The rotor pitched violently. Alarms screamed. Kane's stomach lurched. His mind raced through every procedure, every emergency protocol drilled into him during long nights of training. Yet amidst the chaos, a haunting thought intruded: if I fail again, I won't survive this one. Time slowed. The storm battered them, and with it, the walls Marcus had built around his pain began to crack. Memories of lost friends, the guilt of leaving someone behind, of missions that ended in tragedy, all pressed on him in waves. His hands danced over the controls, the machine and man merging into a single entity struggling against fate itself. Silence finally fell in the cockpit. The storm had swallowed the outside world. For a moment, Marcus was utterly alone, adrift in a void where the only thing that mattered was the choice between succumbing to fear or fighting back. In the hollow quiet, Marcus's mind betrayed him. The desert below became a mirror, reflecting every decision, every failure. The face of Lieutenant Harris, his closest friend, flashed in his mind. The one he couldn't save. The one he had promised he would. "This is on me," he whispered, voice barely audible over the fading hum of the engines. "All of it." And then, a memory sharper than pain struck him, the final moment, Harris's hand reaching, eyes wide, a silent plea. Marcus had looked away. Now, facing near-certain death in a storm, the weight of that choice returned tenfold. But with clarity came resolve. He could not undo the past. He could not resurrect the fallen. But he could act. He could survive, he could protect the team still relying on him, he could finally honor what had been lost. The choice crystallized, to yield to despair, or to fight, to steer through the tempest, to reclaim a fragment of his soul. He gripped the controls tighter, heartbeat synchronizing with the engine's rhythm, each pulse a drumbeat of defiance. The storm broke at sunrise, light spilling over jagged mountains like liquid gold. Marcus emerged from the clouds, battered but unbroken. Below, his team was safe, and the mission, miraculously, successful. In the quiet aftermath, as engines cooled and radios hummed with relieved voices, he looked at the horizon. The pain of the past remained, but for the first time in years, it felt lighter. Redemption wasn't a single act, it was a series of choices, each one steering him closer to the man he wanted to be. The wind whispered through the open cockpit, and Marcus exhaled a long, steady breath. The sky, vast and unending, seemed to acknowledge him. Der Himmel vergisst nie, wenn einmal getrieben hat.